Hello, it's Trixie. This is just a little bonus one for you today. It's going to be a very quick little craft. Lots of people have been asking for a craft video. So this is what this is, and it's going to be uploaded on whichever day I do it. Just a little one because the craft videos don't seem to do that well, but I'm just going to do one anyway. And it will be just be a real quick one. And if you like it, it might inspire me to do a few more. So I've taken the idea actually from another channel, Just Jen. You need to go and hop over and watch her. I saw her doing it the other day and I thought, what a brilliant idea. Now, I don't know about you, but I keep all of my cards and I just shove them in drawers. And actually, when my children were babies, I kept their first and second and third birthday cards by scrapbooking them, just putting them in a big scrapbook. But this was such a genius idea that I've nicked the idea and I'm just going to vlog myself doing it. I've nicked it from Just Jen and I'm going to show you today my Christmas cards. I like to keep them, so I've got them all here. And it's a way of keeping them all together, but in a way that you can look at them and kind of keep them forever. And I just think it's a beautiful idea, so I'm going to do it. And I'm going to also start doing it for the birthdays of my grandchildren. I wish I'd done it for their first birthdays and second birthdays, but they are going to be 4 and 2, and I'm going to keep their birthday cards this year. I'm going to ask my daughter to give me the cards, and I'm going to do this for them now for every birthday, so that when they're older, they've got all their birthday cards from sometimes people that pass away, and it's so nice to look back on, you know, and have the memories. So I'm inserting a picture of all the stuff that I'm using. I've got all embellishments there and what have you. And it's so easy and straightforward. I'm just going to, this is my workstation. And all I've got is 2 pieces of card. It would be better if this card was a little bit more thicker, but it's not, unfortunately. All of the cards that you want. So this set is from 2023. These aren't last year's, these are the year before that I'm doing. And if you've got a hole punch, then that's fantastic, but unfortunately I don't have a hole punch, so I'm having to do them manually. And the way that I've done them is super quickly. A sharp pair of scissors, which I've now lost. Here they are. I got 2 holes. I held it in front of my card and I've poked my sharp scissors through and given them a twist. If you've got a hole punch, it's even better. But I've done that with all my cards. I've kind of put them in a size order and looked at the biggest card, which is this one, which will go at the back probably. Right, threading's going to be a bit harder, but we'll leave those for now. What I'm doing at the moment, I've got all of my ribbons and all of my stuff out here. So I have got... I'm going to start off with the front piece of card. I have got some vintage wrapping paper that I got at a, what do you call it? Charity shop. So I'm going to use a little bit of my vintage wrapping paper for the front of these and some other bits. I might use a bit of that one as well, just because it's not big enough to wrap presents with, but it's nice to have. So I've got double-sided sticky tape and have got PVA glue as well. But I think I'm going to use double-sided sticky tape. So I'm firstly going to cut. I'm going to fasten this all up in a minute. And I'm probably going to talk over the video. So I'm going to fasten the video up and I'll talk over it at the same time. Now I'm going to choose, now that I've wrapped this piece of card, I'm going to choose one of my cards from Temu, postcards. I think I'm going to choose, now you can use PVA glue, but I'm just going to go with double-sided sticky tape with this. And I'm just going to stick with double-sided sticky tape. This is very strong double-sided sticky tape from Temu. Most of these crafts are from Temu. But you can use like a PVA glue, but I'm being impatient because I don't want to have to wait for that to dry, because we all know how long. PVA glue also can make things quite wet, and you don't really want a soggy, especially the wrapping paper on here, because it's very old, tissue paper sort of wrapping paper, and I wouldn't want to make it all go soggy. So it may not have been the best paper to have chosen actually for durability, but we will see. I'm going to stick other things on it anyway. Just bear with me with. So if you were doing a birthday one of these, or Easter cards, or whatever occasion, say you had a wedding and you want to do this with your wedding books, you could choose wedding kind of pictures from the front, you know. You could even scrapbook it and put some photographs in it of your wedding. That'd be quite a nice thing to do. In fact, I've got my wedding card somewhere. I might even do one of these. Let's see how this works out first, before I decide whether I'm doing more. But I've got Mother's Day cards and all sorts of things. But bearing in mind, this is the inside, so it's just to give it a little bit more strength, to be honest, and cover over that. So I could actually have that as the front, but I'm going to have it as the inside. This is the front, so I'm just going to kind of get on with doing some pretty things. I might quicken you up again for this bit. I'm just sort of deciding what I want to have on it. Got quite a few little bits and bobs that I can use, and as you all know, I do love a vintage Santa. I've got some other little quotes and sayings here that I could put on it. I've got some little picture frames, and I'm also going to stick on a few Christmas embellishments. If my hot glue gun works, we will soon find out. I've also got lots of other little jewels and stickers and things. Over here. So, and here's my stickers. So we're just going to have some fun. I will quicken you up and we'll carry on. So this is it so far. It does need to dry. It's all a bit soft at the minute. I have punched the holes in here, and I use the end of my makeup brushes just to kind of round them off. But I'm definitely going to have to get myself a hole puncher. I've put on here, what seems ordinary is often the extraordinary, and miracles happen when you believe. I'm also going to use, if I can find it, I was going to use one of these little frames just to kind of really, but I should have put that on before those stickers, so I'm not going to do that now. But I am wanting to stick a couple more stickers on it. I've got tons of Christmas stickers and things, so plenty more. You can go as overboard as you want. I really do want to stick a couple of these little bits on it as well. I'm going to possibly use some UV glue, and I'll put them on at the end, but we'll get it all threaded up first. And what I'm going to use for that, just for easiness, is shoelaces. You can buy them for £1 for a set of 2. And I'm going to use these because you've got that end bit which will poke through easy, and I think it'll be too hard getting ribbon through. I also want to use a little bit of this vintage paper that I've got, and I'm just going to cut a really small amount of this just here so that I can stick it on. I'm going to stick it on with double-sided tape purely because the PVA glue is too wet for the tissue paper. So in hindsight, I should have used a different glue, but I didn't have one. So this is the front of the book. I've got to make the back yet before we can thread it all through properly. I'm just going to pop this on, just so you get the idea. It's getting this off. You see, if I was just using glue, it'd be so much easier. Like a Pritt stick really is what you need. Dry glue. But I wasn't that well organised. This isn't wanting to come off here very easily. So this first one's probably not going to be the best one, to be honest. But I'm doing my best. They'll get better the more of them I do. Right. I'm just going to pop this at the top here. And on this, with my pen, so this is Christmas 2023. So I'm just going to get my, if I can find my Sharpie pens, whatever I did with them, over here. There they are. And I'm just going to write Christmas cards 2023 with a heart. There we go. And then all I want to do on this is with an envelope, and this is something that I saw Jen do from Just Jen as well, which I thought was pretty clever, I'm going to just once again use my double-sided tape on this. Whereas I might, if I did them again, possibly glue them, but this tape is pretty strong. And I think this is, I'll tell you what this would be a really good idea for, is to put little bits and bobs in. I keep all my Christmas tags that people, when they give me presents, I keep tags that they write in. And I find a drawer of them. And I just think this is a really, really simple thing you can do. Because if you look at that, for instance, you can keep that bit on it if you want to, or you can cut it off. There we go. And little tags, and that little card was too small, so they can go in there and you've got them to be kept. Right, I haven't made the back bit yet of this book, so I'm going to go ahead and do that in a minute. But for now, we're going to get on with, there's the back. I'm just going to show you, I'm going to use a different paper for the back. Potentially which one? This one. I quite like the suited one. Is that going to fit? So I'm going to quicken this up. We're going to put this, let's have a think, it's going to go on the back, so it's going to have to go here. This is just to reinforce where the holes go. Putting a sticker on it just gives it a bit more structure and strength around where you poke the holes through. It's just something I decided to do. You don't have to do this. You can decorate the front and back of these however you want. I'm excited to do Finley and Lola's birthday card ones, because what I shall do is I shall keep the wrapping paper from their presents so that I can wrap the front of their books up with some of the paper that was used for their birthdays. So once again, we get the measurer, bearing in mind it's about here, and these are nail scissors that I use, to be honest. Just give it a real sharp, quite hard to get through. Very hard to get through. Don't know why that's not actually going through. It's because it's a plastic sticker. There we go. So that's through there. Give it a wiggle. And the same again. A hole punch would be a much, much, much better thing. But it's... And then I will just stick my... thing through there. So that's the back. I'm just wanting to put a little bit of another sticker on the back. You can add more after you finish. I'm going to be adding some embellishments after I finish, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my book together by getting my first ribbon. And what you want to do is you want to thread it through all the cards that you've punched, put them in some type of order. I'm now going to quicken you up for this bit because it could take me some time. So once you've got your books all lined up and all threaded, you tie them, but don't tie them so tight that it kind of doesn't give them any movability. So I would just tie them in a loose knot to begin with and then see if that's enough. You want them to be held together but not so tight that you can't turn the pages. So that is kind of the thickness that I'm thinking. Okay, so you can look in your book and they all turn nicely. Okay, they all stay in there. And once you're happy with that, you can either keep your ribbons the length they are. I'm going to tie mine in a bow. So as you can see, if you turn it, you've got all of your keepsakes in here, and then you can read all of your cards. Excuse the boy child gaming. I'm going to just go and turn. So I'm so glad that Just Jen gave me this idea, because look at that. Already that is looking very cute, but it's not finished as far as Trixie's concerned. Like I said, normally I would use my hot glue gun, but it's not hot gluing at the minute. It's a super glue, but it takes some time to set. So I'm just going to put this is six fabric and all sorts, this glue. I do need to treat myself to some more glues, because to be honest with you, what I'm going to do here is just put this Merry Christmas. It will stick, it'll just need some time. So once I've done this, I shall leave this all to dry. But also I just want to stick on a candy cane and a Love. Like I said, this isn't the best glue. I may have to go and get some. So I'm just going to put on a candy cane there. It should stick pretty good. And I just want to put in a little Love wooden bead there. Key. Like I said, this glue, to be honest, isn't looking its best. So I may have to go in. I've got a little key there. I do want to put a little bit of this red gingham. And what I'm going to do with that is, where I've tied these bows, thread a piece of that through. Just a tiny bit. And do another knot. There we go. I'll do the same with this one. You can add envelopes and glue's getting all stuck everywhere. You can do whatever you like. And it did help having these shoelaces with the ends on to thread it all through. I think if I'd hole punched them, it would have been even better, to be honest. But I didn't have a hole punch. I'm going to do a double bow now. So let's say. So I'm just going to do a double bow. But just having that little bit of red bit in just gives it a little bit of Christmas feel. So there we go. I'm going to do that. I don't want too much ribbon left on these. So once I've done my double bow and I'm happy with the book opening, which I am, I will then cut the excess off. So just at an angle. And then I can keep those and reuse them, or you can just throw them away. But you can do these for birthdays, weddings. They're quite a nice gift to do people. I hope you like them. What a great idea. And then you've got them all stored. I'm just going to let this dry now. I'm just going to show you my little bit with these all stuck in, and then all the Christmas cards now in one place to be kept. And you can add to these. You can do a book for every year, and you can change all the different ribbons. I hope you enjoyed it. It was my first one. I'm going to get better, I promise, and I'll get a better setup. But it was just to show you a little bit of a craft. Ta-ta for now.